All right, I want to talk a little bit about the correction that comes from the dog's collar, with electronic fencing. And this holds true for any collar, any brand, whether it's something that we've installed for you or something you bought over the counter. The dogs, we basically, the concept, we bury a wire and the dog carries the collar. When it gets close to the wire, it activates the collar with a warning first, but then it delivers a correction or a shock from the collar. And that's concern for a dog owner to not want to hurt their dog or anything like that. So I want to talk about that directly, about that correction from the collar. First of all, with Derby's Pet Fence, you get the benefit of a programmable collar. So what we do is we will custom fit the collar on your dog. We will program it at the very lowest level. For every dog, starts on the lowest level. Most dogs don't even feel that low level. They will hear the warning first, and then they may or may not even feel the first correction, right? And then what we do as we're doing the training is we will slowly turn up the correction level till it gets to a point, a correction level, that will deter the dog from wanting to cross the boundary. That's the whole point of this, right? But the point is, because it's programmable, we can turn it up just high enough to deter your particular dog. If you have a small, sensitive dog, that might still be on a very low level. If you have a bigger, more stubborn dog or what have you, we may have to go up to the higher levels, but it's the appropriate level for your dog that will deter the dog from crossing the boundary, and we don't have to go any higher than necessary for your dog. The other thing is that a lot of people don't realize this, and honestly, I didn't realize this before I got into the business, is that the dogs typically only get a handful of corrections, really ever. During the first 6 or 8 days of training, your dog's going to be on a leash, and they typically get 3 to maybe 8 shocks during that first 6 or 10, maybe 10 days of training. And once they figure it out, then they don't cross the boundary, which means they don't get the correction anymore. So your dog might get between 3 to 8 shocks during that first week or so of training, and then he literally might go 3 or 5 years before he gets another correction from that collar. So it's not like this happens all the time or even throughout his life. It's just once the training is over, the dog learns the boundary and the dog will stay in the yard. The collar's there in that rare event that he does wander too far in the future. He'll get the benefit of that warning without a correction. But if he does go too far, the correction is there to remind him of where the boundary is. So just wanted to review that with you. And of course, the correction will not hurt the dog. It can't do any damage or anything like that. It's just unpleasant. And then, with the training and the intensity level that we custom program, and the fact that once the dogs learn it, they really don't even get corrections from the collar, sometimes for months or years at a time. There's really nothing to worry about with the corrections from these collars.